welcome, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above the age, there we go, of 18. It is I, the one, the only, Roberto Negro. Fuck. Let's see, we started late. I know that. The Mins reminds me of that. He's like, what's up? It's starting late. It's time for me to go to bed. And secondly, we had to do a second take. Which, see, let me clue you in. Let me adjust these levels. These fuck. Definitely when you take wooden nickels. Well, here's the... Hello. There we go. Alright. I'm trying to adjust the issues so everything's not fucking blown out. Here's the main issue. And I know most of the issues in my life are exactly what I'm going to tell you they are. And you're going to roll your fucking eyes. And you're going to go, oh, like we haven't heard this bullshit before. But it's the truth. Okay? It's the truth. You know that expression, the truth hurts? This is the truth. And it hurts me every fucking day. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. If you're ever on the fence about having kids, listen to this show, and I will convince you not to have kids. Well, okay. Let me refrain that. I will make you think long and hard about having kids. The best way I explain it. It's the best way I explain it. Yes, they're the greatest gift one could ever get. They are your offspring. They are, especially if they're boys and they're carrying on your name, and you were part of creating this life. All the bullshit, sentimental Hallmark stuff. Yes. But it literally only outweighs the negatives by 1%. So you're looking at a 51-49 swing. You're literally doing 10 steps forward and then 9.5 back. That's basically what you're doing. So, yes, the positives outweigh the negatives, but not by much. So whenever you have all of this joy filling in your heart, they come and they fucking crush it. And they mush it. They light that shit on fire. So these fuckers are not in school because of Christmas. So them not being in school, it fucks up the entire schedule. So now the entire schedule's fucked up. One's not going to school from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then comes home and is somewhat docile. They're tired. They're a whole process. And the other one, with his therapies and shit, some days the fucker would have 3 of them a day. Others 2 a day. Now, 0 a day. And the 5-year-old, all day, wound up like an asshole. And it's fucking 16 degrees out. So it's not like they could go outside. You bundle them up and send them outside. It's fucking cold. And I'm not, fuck, I persevere through it all. But it's fucking cold out. It's I don't remember it being this cold. Like, it definitely didn't get this cold for any extended period of time last year. I don't remember. I mean, literally, I don't remember it being this cold. Yeah, 40, 30. But I don't think it's gone up to the high teens in like a week. I get in the fucking car and it's, 12. 9. It takes a half hour for the car to warm up. By that time, I'm already where I gotta be. So, having the kids outside is a no. I don't want to freeze them to death. So, they're fucking shit up. And they're fucking shit up bad. Tomorrow, we're going to be back on schedule by hook or by crook. But let's be realistic. Life's not getting back to normal until next week. Because then they'll be back in school. So, you gotta bear with. Just fucking bear with me. Don't bust my balls too much. And then the false start. Obviously, somebody was down here fucking with my shit. I don't know who, but somebody was. Because the board was all tweaked. So as I went to go and launch the final song or the final kind of point where I'm like, welcome, 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 I noticed the mics aren't working. And no matter what I was doing, I couldn't get it to work. So I was like, ugh, what did they do? So you know what happens when that goes down? Old-fashioned, turn on, turn off. There's no tech needed. When all else fails, turn the fucking system off, turn it back on. Turned it off, powered everything down, turned it back on, mixers, everything went on, and then I seen the mic levels. They were actually peaking, but I saw that they were working. So, obviously, somebody was in the studio fucking around. Because I had to go to the office today, even though I'm still a little under the weather. No fever. I'm still good on fever, but man, now I got the cough, and you hear my voice. The voice is going again. I kind of sound like I did after Halloween in Hell. Remember how I sounded after Halloween in Hell? My voice was fucking fried. Same goddamn thing. Exactly, Frankie. Frankie said with the AIDS. Fuck 100% with the AIDS. Fucking swimming with it. So, anyways. Let's get on with the program. Deathmatch wrestling. This is a conversation we've had before, but I think we now have a little bit more people that are part of the deathmatch community participating on the message board and listening to the program. So I would be remiss to not revisit these questions again. Now, I am from the OG era of deathmatch wrestling. When a light tube hit was a big deal, or bumping in some thumbtacks or bumping in some glass was a big deal. But there was a psychology to the death match. There was a rhyme or reason to the death match. And it was still in the context of a wrestling show, a wrestling promotion. Good guys, bad guys, storylines, I'm going to get you, type of shit. Now that was 90, for us, it was 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. When did the death match world become two guys, a guy and a girl, two girls, go into a ring and just beat the shit out of each other with weapons? Just beat the shit out of each other with weapons. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no psychology. There's no storyline. It's literally cameras roll. A guy walks into a warehouse. A girl walks into a warehouse. They say hello. And they go, are you ready? And then they climb in the ring. And then they proceed to beat the shit out of each other with weapons. Just annihilate, smash this light tube over your head, this light tube over your head, this light tube over your head. But of course, sell certain things. You know, maybe the guy gets hit with a light tube and convulses. But it's still, you hit me, I hit you. And then at the end, there's a pin, which is kind of funny. And then at the end of that, I don't know how many times I've seen it, the two people then stand in the ring. Maybe the one guy is a promoter. Maybe he's the promoter. He then cuts a promo talking about how great the individual is that he just put over. How great they were to take 300 light tube shots and so forth and so on. How great life is with this person beating each other up. And that's it. That's it. And then after, the cameras film, you know, these two people taking pictures with each other, joking with each other, drinking beers together, smoking weed, When did that become deathmatch wrestling? It's like, seriously. I have this conversation with Martini as it pertains to, when did it become wrong to use the word retard? Or when did it, when did it become wrong to, have an Aunt Jemima bottle of pancakes? Like, at what point did this collective group of judge and jurors or whatever say that is wrong? At what point did deathmatch wrestling become nothing more than two guys or a guy and a girl just mutilating each other? Just a question. Just a question. I'm now Schlack, and I love Schlack, and I feel Schlack, unfortunately, has gotten pulled in, and I think a lot of the boys that have been doing it for a while, that have come up on, that were raised in the world of, say, XPW or early CZW, where there was storylines and there were rhymes and reasons, and there were, why is this going on, or why is this happening? And Schlack, I think at times has gotten lumped into the brutality for brutality's sake, and then let's have a match, let's have a storyline, let me be part of something where I'm not going to, do this for the sake of doing it, and then after we'll all jerk each other off and take pictures with each other, and that whole kind of rigmarole. And I think as a deathmatch wrestler who started out X amount of years ago, you get pulled into this new kind of way a deathmatch is supposed to be. So I think you say, well, hey man, I want to do this, and we want to do some spots, and then another promoter hits you up and goes, hey man, I want to pay you X amount of money to come in and wrestle in this ring and just clobber this other guy with a baseball bat full of thumbtacks and glass. He's not going to have any offense. I just want you to annihilate him. I want you to make him bleed. I want you to pummel him. Okay. All right, whatever. Pay me. I'll do it. Whatever. Cool. And it's crazy how this transformation went from, late 90s to now 2022, 2023. It's kind of strange. It's kind of fucking strange. And sometimes, and I've said it before, say it again, sometimes I question if basically right now, I'm not talking about 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I'm talking about right now. If we're trying to push a snowball up a volcano mountain, if that makes any sense. And hear me out. So I find this weird limbo. Okay? And I find this a strange limbo. So take WWE and put WWE in a totally different world. Because WWE is all about maintaining what they have. And I think WWE has done everything they could possibly do. There is nothing more they could do. They created WrestleMania. They created pay-per-view as we know it. They created the Hulk Hogans, the Rocks, the Cenas. They took a wrestling company public. They got in on the ground floor when streaming services just came out. And for a few years, those motherfuckers were rocking anywhere between 1.1 and 1.4 million subscribers, paying $9.99 a month. So they've done it all. All they're doing is maintaining what they created. And they know the business has changed. They know the markets have changed. They know the business model has changed. They know entertainment has changed. Especially in 2023. They know that. They know they can't get away with an angle where one of the wrestlers is suspected of beating up his girlfriend. And the girl sports a black eye as she comes down to the ring. They know that. They know that. But again, for them, it's just maintaining. They've got the billion-dollar deals. They've got all the deals they could possibly have. And at this point, what, Vince, regardless if he was forced to retire or forced to resign, the guy's, I mean, how much fucking longer could the guy possibly be kicking around? So put them in a different place. Let's just deal with AEW. And then let's deal with everybody else. Because there is a huge, huge fucking middle. So you have AEW, and by all accounts, they've got billions of dollars behind them. And they're pretty much stuck at exactly the same place for, I don't know, how, every month or every 6 months or every year, someone go, oh, they've only been around for a year, they're going to grow. And oh, they've only been around for 2, they're going to grow. At this point, they are where they are. They've had the names, they've had the CM Punks, and they got the Daniel Bryants, and they've had the marquee names. And on any given, Wednesday night, 800,000 people to 1 million people watch. Very successful, very cool, very awesome. But obviously, they're trying to figure out how to get more viewers. They had Nick Gage on there doing a fucking death match with Chris Jericho. Last week they had Keith Lee taking a fucking brick. A brick. A brick. It was like watching a Messiah match. Or a Masada match. A brick. Their exploding ring dud match. Scissor me daddy shit. Trying to get the little catchphrases, the suck it, but it's scissor me daddy. Things of that nature. Why? Because they're sitting around in an office going, how the fuck do we get 3, 4, 5, 600,000 more people? How do we do it? What do we do? How do we make this happen? And then on the flip, you have all of us. You have XPW, GCW, fucking ICW, every other fucking prestige. And I know I didn't throw in Impact. Impact is basically all of us, except more glorified, because they're on a channel. But nobody fucking watches them. Women of Wrestling, wow, gets 3 times the audience that Impact does, and they're syndicated. So you never know when the fuck they're on. Could be on a Saturday night, could be on a Sunday night, could be in a fucking Monday morning. So now you got all of us. And what are we all trying to do? Figure out how to get more people to our shows. Now, the window of growth, as it pertains to Impact or AEW to WWE, is very minuscule. It's very minuscule. Because you might hit a bad WWE Raw that gets a 1.4, 1.5, and you might catch a phenomenal AEW that catches a 1.2, a 1.3. So the growth is minuscule. But if you're going from a 3 or 4 or 500 people on a consistent basis at what would be considered a successful indie, to a weekly AEW show that will draw anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 people, That's a huge window. A fucking huge window to try to grow. So the question becomes, how do you grow that? Is the growth there with a Matt Tremont in a barbed wire match against fucking Hardcore? I mean, is that the growth? Is that the growth? Is that going to get you from 200 people to 2,000 people? What gets you there? And if everybody in New Jersey is competing for the same bloodthirsty deathmatch fans, is there really any growth to be had there? Which all circles back to the state of death match wrestling. Because when it used to be something novel, intriguing, interesting, exciting, a sense of danger, has now become... How many death matches you got on your show? 4? That's not enough. You gotta have fucking all death matches. Oh, okay. Who's in it? Fuck that. You gotta use this guy. You gotta use this guy. You gotta use it. I mean, how many times do you... How many times can you see Hoodfoot literally get the shit beat out of him? I mean, seriously. How many times can you watch Hoodfoot literally get the shit beat out of him? And at that point, as a fan, is that really just what you like? Do you like regular wrestling? Like, do you like regular wrestling? And I'm not talking about flippy bullshit. Flippy bullshit's cool. You gotta have some flippy bullshit. We had flippy bullshit before it was called flippy bullshit. We had Excalibur. And fucking Ultimo Dragon, or whatever the fuck he was. And they were doing all that flippy shit. Cool, awesome. Put it in the beginning of the show. Crowd popped. Yay! But if that is something that you like, do you come out for anything else? Do you come out for anything else? I don't know. I don't know. But when I watch some of this shit, like I saw this past weekend, and I watched some of these matches, and I watched some of these clips, and I just shake my head. And I just go, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe that's the part of me that's just old and out of touch with the deathmatch community. But I at least feel that some of the guys that we have that are part of us, there's some type of specialness because you're not seeing them everywhere. You're only going to see Schlack in XPW. Maybe you'll see him outside of XPW if somebody has something special. They want to fucking pay him some big money. He's going to Europe. He went to Japan. But you're not going to see him go show up at, fucking, I don't know, Hood Slam or something like that. But I find having a group of guys that are unique to the brand is something special. But then you go on these fucking boards, these deathmatch groups, and you see some of these guys fawn and ooh and ah over things, and I just go, are you fucking serious? Like, really? If that's the case, then we'll just get random people to go in the ring and Schlack literally will abuse them with fucking machetes and cut their limbs off. Like, what the fuck? Fuck it. Like, really fucking main people. Just get some young guys that are hey man, I'm coming up. Coming up. I work for Tremont for $20. Okay, bro. Come on over. You're gonna go 10 minutes with Schlack and he's just gonna fucking maim you. Okay, brother. Alright. And then Schlack just fucking maims him. That's all. The guy comes back. He's got fucking chunks of flesh hanging off his body. He's got a fucking artery that's fucking just buckets of blood. They gotta rush him to the hospital. And he fucking goes with a smile on his face. Yay! I don't know. Yeah, and then they get choked out. I feel, and obviously it's never gonna happen, but I feel the deathmatch business needs to become something special again. When I say it'll never be, what we're trying to do needs to be done with the entire deathmatch scene. Listen. And we circle back to the whole pay thing. But if a promoter can't buy food to feed their pet, how much do you think the boys and girls on an 11-man card, and some of the matches are tag teams, are fucking getting. Just think about that. Do some fucking math. Just do some fucking math. If in all you have 30 people that are working the show, and each one gets $100, that's $3,000. If you're charging $30 a ticket, you got to do 100 tickets. And that's your break even. So obviously, if you can't feed your fucking cat, there's people that are not getting $100. There's probably people that are probably getting nothing. And they're in there getting smashed in the fucking head with glass or smashed with chairs. They're fucking bleeding. How do you make deathmatch wrestling something special when the so-called community doesn't treat it special? The people that participate in it don't treat it special. How? How? I mean, how? How do you do that? And shitbag Jenkins, there's no way front row tickets for the Grand Olympic Auditorium front row were $30, bro. They just weren't. They just weren't. But that's fucking besides the point. You're talking 25 fucking years ago. Well, I think Pico Rivera is a different animal onto its own. But I'm not going to sit here and have a fucking debate with someone named Shitbag Jenkins. But again, if you go back 25 years and you want to adjust for inflation, if we want to go on the premise of a $30 fucking ticket, then I would assume that you're probably talking in modern day terms, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 ticket. So, and here's the other funny thing. I think it's mainly a East Coast Jersey thing. And I've had this conversation with Schlack, and I've had this conversation with the Mins. Somehow, some reason, because deathmatch wrestling, rather it was created in Jersey, on that East Coast side. When I say created, you know what I mean. That's where the companies started to migrate to. That it just became a fucking schlock of something that was unique and special and turned it into nothing more than a fucking body slam or a goddamn fireman's carry. And so you get people to mutilate themselves for $50 and $75. Fucking wild, man. Oh, and Schlacker says the door was opened too wide to the general public. Again, and it's funny because I seen Vince Russo basically sounding like Rob Black. He did a bit on his show, I think a week ago, and it made its rounds, where he talked about nowadays anybody could get into the wrestling business. It's not special anymore. Anybody could do it. And how many times have we talked about that on this show? No, I'm with you, Frankie Dio. Oh, God, Vince Russo. But when he says stuff like, it used to be difficult to get into the business, it's something that I have said a year ago, 2 years ago. And I equated it to porn. It used to be tough to get into the porn business. You used to have to know somebody to get into the porn business. You used to have to come to Los Angeles to get into the porn business. You had to go hang out at parties. Connect with the right people till they even let you get near the one fucking agent that controlled all the talent. And then if you were let in there, your pictures and your resume was sent off to the handful of producers that were around. But back then, it was actually difficult to be in porn because you were making quote-unquote movies. Maybe you had dialogue, even if you were the fucking pizza man. And there were no iPhones, and there were no things of that nature, and the fucking YouTubes and all that bullshit. So you had to lay out big money to shoot porn. And laying out big money to give a shot to some fucking drool was not something that was high on your list. And even if it was a girl, for that matter, could be the most beautiful girl in the world, and you put her on a fucking porn set and she performs like a dead fish, she's got a shitty attitude, and that's it. It's over. It's the same thing with wrestling. You weren't just going to put any drool on a fucking wrestling show. You had to go to a wrestling school. And you had to be in a wrestling school longer than 3 fucking months. And you had to be in a wrestling school, and the teachers had to have at least been in the wrestling business at some point. Even if they were just a fucking jobber on TV. But you literally have wrestling schools that are owned and operated by people that have never, ever competed for a spot in a legitimate company whatsoever. Ever. It's too easy. And it's the same thing in the deathmatch world. If you're willing to bleed, and you're willing to get hit in the head with a fucking light tube, and you're willing to do crazy shit, then somebody will put you on a show. And if you have a teeny tiny little gimmick, forget about it. You're a fucking star. I mean, that's insane. It's just insane. Pro wrestling is the only business where you could wrestle in front of 4 people, and those 4 people are friends. You make no money. Nothing. You just do it for the love. And when you get done, and you and your girl go to fucking Applebee's, and you got your big Band-Aid on your fucking forehead, and you're talking to your girlfriend real loud, that way the waitress or the waiter will go, oh, what do you do? You then can look at them and go, I'm a pro wrestler. You know, like Hulk Hogan, The Rock. That's me. I'm a pro wrestler. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's the only fucking only business. I used to play adult baseball. In a couple of the documentaries that were done on me, it shows me playing adult baseball. And what I mean by adult baseball, it's fucking fast pitch baseball. It's none of that softball pussy shit. I mean, I was the oldest one. I was, like, fucking 31, 32. And they were all, 23, 24-year-old young men. But imagine, I go out to Fridays, because I'm too cool for Applebee's. And I walk in the door, and I'm, doing the fake swing. Maybe I still got my cleats on. Sit down. And the guy's like, you? Yeah, I'm a, pro baseball player. Yeah, play pro baseball. That's what I do. Yep. I went 2 for 5 today. Yeah. Yeah, I had a double. Yep, and a single. 2 RBIs. Pro baseball over here. Like the Yankees. Huh? Yeah. Mets. Uh-huh. Yeah. Pro baseball. Oh, what team? What team? Outlaws. Oh, you never heard of the Outlaws? Huh. Yeah. Huh. You never heard of the Outlaws? Wow. Okay. You have, Major League Baseball. Okay. And then, you have AAA. And then you have AA, single A, and then you have Rookie League. And then, of course, you have college, But then, you have, recreational. Yeah. Well, I'm in between recreational and college. Well, it's pro. It's pro. It's pro. We're pros. We're pros. We were all, listen, I was coached. Okay, I used to have batting practice by a guy that was on the AAA farm club of the Orioles. Yeah. So, dude, pro baseball player. Exactly. Doesn't fucking happen. But in wrestling, it does. So, yeah. And the best part is, it will never get any better because there will always be a warehouse somewhere with some jack-off living in it doing shows for fucking $10 and $20, and other jackoffs that call themselves pro wrestlers bleeding to death, practically, for no fucking money. And as long as that cycle keeps going, we will never get out of this bizarre deathmatch world. And it's a shame. It's a fucking shame. Because you have Schlack and you have Necro and you got Drake and you got some of the boys and girls that are with XPW doing some special stuff. Trying to make what they do special and put on a show for people. And those people go, wow, I haven't seen Schlack or I haven't seen so-and-so. So, where it's going to go, I don't know. I don't. I don't. I do not know where it will go. I do not know where the end is. But we will keep forging on with what we do. We will keep trying to create things that are somewhat special. We will keep trying to do things with Schlack and Drake and Butcher and the other people that kind of come in and out of our orbit. But it's fucking wild. The body. But it's wild. When did deathmatch wrestling become what it's become? And how do you catch that sweet spot in the middle? That's the question. That's the question. That's the question that me, Mins, and Schlack Attack will sit around and ponder on a daily basis. How do you work the middle? And I think it's with pussy. I'm not gonna give away the special sauce. I think it's pussy. Listen, guys, here's the thing. In 2023, in a million years, the stuff that gets the buzz is really the stuff that shouldn't get the buzz. So, in 2023, you know damn well, if we do some of the stuff that we did back in XPW and we do it in 2023, people will become unhinged. People will lose their fucking minds. But it's only in wrestling. Because pop music, movies, any other form of entertainment, that's just what is required. Oh, you're a female rap artist? You gotta look as sexy as all hell. And you need a song about popping your pussy? You gotta have songs about making money with your pussy? And as long as you do that, you're gonna be front and center on MTV, the Grammys, American Music Awards, and even goddamn Kids Nickelodeon. But imagine you do something like that in pro wrestling in 2023. It will be as if you've just committed a fucking federal crime. You just stormed the Capitol. You just were part of an insurrection. Pussy. It's pussy. Me and Schlack talk about that all the time. Schlack's big on pussy. He's big on pussy. It always circles back to pussy. And I think we'll clear out some of these fans and make room for new fans. We'll clear out some of these fans and make room for some new ones. So if we clear out 20 or 30, we'll make room for 20 or 30 new ones, and then we'll add another 20 or 30 on top of that. Pussy. That's it. You're going to be hearing that in the upcoming XPW. I'm giving you guys a preview of new XPW TV. The catchphrase is pussy. It's Rob Black. It's the Rob Black Show. And just remember, blood, sweat, pussy. We'll see you guys tomorrow.